Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the February 10th, 2026 Board of County Commissioners meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Again, good morning, everybody. We'll call this meeting to order. And the first thing we have on our agenda are approval of our minutes from our last meeting. Do we have any additions or corrections?
No.
No additions or corrections?
No.
Okay.
I move to approve the proceedings of Board of County Commissioners from Montezuma County held on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County, February 3rd, 2026. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next up we have planning. And it looks like we have a continued public hearing. It looks like we have the applicant in the room today. So this being the time set aside for a continued public hearing, would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsay.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney Tarnowski.
Here.
And Kim Purcell, County Clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination regarding a proposed subdivision amendment and boundary line adjustment application for the Royce subdivision submitted by Kevin Kistler and Leslie Butita and Linda Dake on property located at 16333 and 16535 Road 30, Dolores, Colorado, consisting of 5.03 acres and 19.56 acres, more or less, both located south of Highway 184, west of Road 30, situated in Section 21, Township 37 North, Range 15 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026 at 9 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the planning offices, online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com, public home. You may also contact the planning department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 13th day of January 2026, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. First published in the Journal on Wednesday, January 20th, 2026, and this is a continued public hearing from last week.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don, would you give us an overview on this, please?
Sure. The applicants are proposing a boundary line adjustment. Being in the subdivision, it's a subdivision amendment. So the north property would be transferring the bottom 4 acres to Mr. Kistler and Miss Butita.
So the dotted line, the hash line there, is that the adjustment, or is it?
Scroll up, Travis, to Ketnope, the other. There you go. So that bottom 4 acre area of the north property, above the fence line or the gas line, hash line there, that would transfer down to the south with that tie bar connecting to the south lot.
So the transfer is just the 4 acres, just increasing the lot size?
Correct. He would pick up the
Kistler.
ag land, and she would be giving up that 4 acres from the
Okay,
north.
which then leaves the acreage above to how many acres?
Scroll up, Travis. I think it shows what the remaining is.
15?
Yep.
15.5.
That's what it would be after the
After the
deduction of the-
transfer of the
okay.
4. Correct.
So you're just trying to increase your lot size?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Commissioner questions?
Planning and zoning.
They were unanimous to recommend the approval.
Any questions, Commissioner?
Are those the only two lots in the, how many lots are in the subdivision? Bunch, or?
I believe I think there's 3 or 4 is all.
No restrictions as far as the subdivision goes?
No,
Changing lot size or anything?
no. And it won't change accesses from what's already existing, with residences already on both
Off of
parcels.
30 Road, yeah. Okay.
I believe there's 4 in there, maybe 3.
All right, would you like to add anything?
I think that pretty much sums it all up. It's just a pretty simple transfer of the 4 acres from the one property to ours.
Okay. All right. No other questions, Commissioners? I'll open this up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this application and bring it back to the board. Gentlemen.
I have nothing further.
Okay.
I don't have any problem with it.
I would so move we accept the proposed subdivision amendment and boundary line adjustment application of the Royce subdivision submitted by Kevin Kistler and Leslie Butita? Okay, sorry about that. And Linda Drake on properties located at 16333 and 16535 Road 30, Dolores, Colorado.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed subdivision amendment and boundary line adjustment application of the Royce subdivision submitted by Kevin Kistler and Leslie Butita and Linda Drake on properties located at 16333 and 16535 Road 30, Dolores, Colorado. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, you have been approved, sir. Thank you, and I will close this public hearing.
Excellent. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Yep. All right,
All right,
That
then
looks
we
like-
have a
discussion.
setback variance application. Mr. Mahaffey is here with his application.
Okay,
So he purchased a triangle lot that is at M and 491. And it's a small lot. It's been there long before the land use code or statute. But he's proposing to put a shop on there to work on his equipment. And with the configuration of the triangle and the setbacks, he's requesting a setback variance because rectangles and squares don't fit very well on triangles. And the house is right in the middle. Currently, the driveway access to the house is there on the east of that big tree. In speaking with Road and Bridge, on the application, they have requested that he move that driveway access 100 or so feet further to the west to get back away from the intersection. It's indicated there with the little dash line. And then that would also give him access to the south side of the shop and to the house. Road and Bridge has signed a non-opposition letter with the 5-foot setback from the road right away for County Road M.
okay. Would you like to add anything before we,
No, invited by Keith Higgins come out and looked at that, and we discussed it, and if we move that driveway, if we could make it kind of a circle driveway, coming in up by Jake Sukla's mailbox, it'll be safer coming off the road off of 491. It'll just, it won't block traffic as bad as that first driveway, because it's really tight coming off the highway.
yeah, it's pretty much right on the highway, within like, what, 50 feet?
Yeah,
It's
it's
super
just right
tight.
there. If I'm pulling a trailer or something and there's somebody coming down Road M and I have to stop, then it causes a traffic hazard.
Right. So, thanks for that. Travis, can you scroll down to the next? Because I'm going to ask you some questions that we've been asking everybody as we look into these, as we look at variances. So, would it be possible, this is question number one, if your triangle configuration of this property, if you went from where it says Empire Electric, if you take that corner and purchase up to the other corner where it comes down vertically, you would be able to have more access and comply with the land use code as far as all of your setbacks. We've been asking that question for all of our people, just, it's not taking away any agricultural ground from what we can see here on the map. It puts it back, and then you don't have to have any kind of a variance at all.
So all the utilities and all the leach lines and septic tank is on that side of the house? Where
On-
you had your mouse on the south side? toward
I
the-
don't have the mouse, so.
We're out, sir.
A little bit, yeah, on that, go to the house and then come back down toward 491. All the utilities to that property are on that side of the house.
Perfect.
So I would be building a road on top of my sewer line.
No,
No.
that's not what I'm saying. So if you take, I don't have a mouse.
You
so-
can drive. Travis will move.
You can use a stick.
So if you go
He's talking about from the southwest corner of the house,
you go from right
going right
here,
straight west.
and you go to here, that gives you enough to just slide this down to where you're compliant, and you don't have to have a variance with anything. This looks,
That belongs, where your mouse is right there belongs to Mr. Tanner. That
Yeah,
does
I
not
don't-
belong to me.
no, I understand that. That's the question. Have you asked, before we look at variances, the question that we've been asking is, have you exhausted every other aspect before a variance is even looked at?
I have not talked to Mr. Tanner about purchasing property.
Yeah. So if that was, amenable to either, each, or, it would make better sense to comply with the land use code, and then that way no variances ever have to be given, and everybody is compliant and clear. So, I would, what are you guys' thoughts?
I agree. If we grant a variance to 5 feet within the road, we're gonna open the door to a lot more asks for this, and we might as well take our setbacks and just toss them. We have a lot of problems with this being new construction and
Yeah.
availability
He's
to
got an
get there.
irrigation ditch right there along my whole fence.
Yeah, I would appreciate it if you would exhaust that avenue and see if we couldn't get a chunk of property out there. I know it's an extra cost and all that, but for us to grant a variance for 5 feet, I couldn't see it happening.
John, could you clarify for us what is the setback supposed to be off the road there in our land use code for this
30
zoning designation?
30 feet.
And so the proposed use here is for a setback of 5 feet instead of 30 feet?
Correct. And if you'll look at that corner that you're discussing, that's where the irrigation ditch runs.
Yeah, he's got an irrigation rinse runs right along that whole fence line.
That's why all the trees and everything's right there.
Right, is that,
And
isn't that an old one, Larry? Isn't that all sprinklered and sidewalls now? Has been for a while, is that?
It has been, yes, but I'm not sure if they still run water. It looks like they still run water in that ditch, and maybe that's how they get water across the highway. I don't know. Because it runs right down there to the corner and it disappears.
Commissioners, I would just like to take a moment to go over again the review criteria for proposed variances. So this was recently adopted in the land use code, I want to say within the last 6 months, that the board can only approve a variance application if all of the following criteria are met. A, the proposed use is a permitted use under the current zoning designation. B, there exist exceptional or extraordinary physical circumstances of the subject property, such as, but not limited to, exceptional topographic conditions, narrowness, shallowness, or the shape of a specific piece of property, including consideration for easements and rights-of-ways. C, because of these physical circumstances, the strict application of the regulations would result in peculiar and exceptional practical difficulties to, or exceptional and undue hardship upon, the owner of such property. D, the difficulties or hardships are not self-imposed due to the action or lack of action by any property interest owner. E, the variance, if granted, will not adversely affect other property in the neighborhood and surrounding area. F, the variance, if granted, will not change the character of the zoning in the area in which the property is located and is in keeping with the purposes and intent of the land use code. G, the variance, if granted, does not adversely affect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Montezuma County and is in accordance with the master plan and any applicable intergovernmental agreements affecting land use or development. So those are all the criteria for an approval of a variance.
Are you done? Or it looked like you were going to say something.
Yeah, if there's any questions, I'm happy
I was like waiting.
to say more, but that was, I know there's a lot of criteria there, so I just wanted to review those for the board.
Travis, you scroll up a little bit, please. No, the other way. Or nope. Go back the other way. I'm sorry. My mistake. Yeah. It's not the slide I was looking for. Let's go. Yeah, it should have been the other way. Keep going. Yeah, that one. That yellow triangle is with the setbacks?
That indicates a 30-foot setback on that property.
Okay.
In other words, there's no place it could be at his front door, I guess, but you don't want anything closer to the highway.
No.
Visibility-wise would be.
And I see all the easements like you stated, and all that stuff would be to the east of the house, west of 491, so that makes that
Yeah,
pretty
and
much.
if you're coming down in, the
unbuildable.
house blocks your view of 491, and the shop will do the same thing. It covers the same view. So once you get past the shop, you get past the house, and you have full visibility of 491, so it doesn't cause an issue there.
Right. I'm trying to work through this and trying to figure out
Yeah.
something that'll make sense, but I'm struggling right now because of the setbacks. The 5 feet off the road really concerns me. Why, and I think I understood you as you're trying to make a circular driveway around the south side of the
Yeah,
shop. Is that
so-
what you're?
Jim, what I'm trying to do is give you 5 foot, so from that red line to the center of him is 30 foot, where my chain link fence starts.
Yep.
I give you another 5 feet, that gives you 35 feet from the center of him to the back of the shop, which I think is very
Correct, but,
copacetic.
but the code states it's 30 feet from the property line, not the roadway.
Right.
So
right.
that's what we're dealing with, it's not the roadway, so
Well, if I would've known that, I wouldn't have bought the property, because I'm moving back from Wyoming,
yeah.
and I put a bid in on that from a HUD loan, and picked it up, so I thought there was plenty of room there for a shop.
So, I went out there and actually looked at the property this morning too, and it looks like you're cleaning it up and cutting down all the trees and getting everything
Yeah,
out
all
of
them
that.
trees on that side of the house are
That
gone.
southern area, or you're working on it.
Yes.
Not that they're all gone, but I mean, it makes, unless you're just trying to access the south side,
Yeah, I want the shop facing to the south.
going
just for-
east and
'cause
west with your doors?
At some point, it's gonna snow again in this country. Hopefully.
Promise?
we actually do hope. But there again, that is another implication of that close to the roadway. It shadows that roadway, and it will create a,
What if I change the dimensions of the shop to a 40 by 30?
spot. How would that then fit in with it?
Well, we could get another 10 foot off the
Get
fence
another
line, so
10
you'd
feet,
be getting 15
off
foot.
the road.
Go back to the, so it's 25 on the south, 5 on the north?
Yeah,
Because right now it said it was a 40 by 40?
yep.
Yep. So are you actually planning on driving around the south side?
Yes.
Is that your
Come
purpose
in
for
on
the?
where that little yellow mark
Yep.
is, come in there, and then that whole side will be basically parking lot from the shop to the fence line.
Mm-hmm,
Where I've taken out them 2 big trees, I've also taken out that tree right there at the corner.
mm-hmm.
So my driveway will come in, I'll move both my mailbox up by Jake's mailbox, and the postmaster will only have to stop once. And then that's where my end will be, and I'll just come around, and then way I can back my trailers in.
So you just change your configuration of your shop to 30 by 50?
30 by 40.
Or just leave it 30 by 40?
Yeah, I'll just leave it 40 foot, but I'll just make it 30 foot. It'll give us 10 more feet next to the fence.
But your driveway is still gonna come around the south side of the shop? Is that
Yeah.
what you're planning?
So then your setback would be 15 feet as opposed to 30.
Right, we're looking at 2 setbacks. We're not compliant with the north or the
Right.
south setback at all. We are compliant with 2, and we're not of 2.
You're compliant with the one on the south side.
It's 25 feet. If that number's correct.
Yeah, that's 40 foot from the edge of that shop to that fence where you've got that little arrow drawn.
Yep,
That's 40 foot.
One other thing I wanted to add, Commissioners, remember, while we do have the setbacks in the land use code, the board also adopted these variance provisions to allow for exceptions to the general setback requirements, among other things, when doing so would be warranted because of particular circumstances, the particular, shape of a property. And that's why all those criteria I read earlier were adopted.
I 100% get that, but what it doesn't state in there is the location, just like he stated, of M Road and 491. And I would agree with you 100%. That existing driveway, where it existed since I've been around and driving out there, has always been hazardous because of
1958.
its access to 491. It doesn't say that in the land use code. So there's no other bullet point that says, don't consider this or not consider this. It's subjective. I think that's the point that Commissioner Lindsay was alluding to, is it becomes too close. Now, I appreciate what you're trying to do, because you're gonna create half circle to get in and out, so that it's safer to get you to the west farther, because that obstruction becomes really close at 491.
It does.
So if that's truly not correct, if that 25 foot is not correct and you have 40,
Yeah, well, from the edge of the shop there, where that yellow arrow is to where them trees are, where that line is, that's 40 foot.
how come we're looking at 25 feet?
Well, I don't know. I didn't put that in there.
I went by what the map showed, and it could be wrong,
Okay,
because the maps aren't always totally correct.
Sure. So,
If it's 40 feet and he did a 30 by 40, then you would move it another 10 feet.
we would
You'd only
almost
be
be
a 5-foot
compliant.
variance.
Even if he moved it a little bit to the right, he would, to the east, it would,
We would be
he
compliant.
would
I'm
almost be
trying
totally
to,
I'm trying
compliant.
to make it fit.
we're just trying to make
Completely
it.
understand if I move it just a little bit that way, then it takes up more of your view as you're coming down Road M. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I-
about, Gerald?
Yeah.
Yep.
It kind of blocks your view of 491. So that's why I put it right there, so you had the same, the house blocks the same view. Now, I can move it maybe 10 feet that way, if I had to.
Well, if you change it to 30 by 40, you've moved that 10 feet
Well,
automatically.
I'm just giving you 15
Yeah.
more feet next to the fence on the north.
But if that's truly 40 feet and we can verify it from pin to pin, I don't know if you have them set, but they can be set, and pull a true line through there, I would be willing to say, okay, that variance of 25 feet, that makes sense. You're not, there's nothing there, there's no traffic, there's nothing there but
Yeah.
a hayfield. You're not gonna impede anybody. It's more the, off of the roadway is where I'm trying to get as much distance as possible. So if we were able to slide it to the, I guess that would be going east. East? And then south, changing it to 30 by 40,
You could do it.
I think we could do
You
it.
could probably do it without being,
I'll go out there and lay it back out, and then if somebody wants to come out and verify it,
Let's do that.
Because then we're only giving one variance, which would be the south side of that shop. And if 25 feet makes it to where you can come around, that makes it a lot more palatable.
Plus
Because
we're-
then we maintain that 30 feet off of the road or the property line.
Plus,
Does
we're
that make
trading
sense?
an unsafe access for a safer access into
Yes.
there. A shorter distance of about, what is that distance about?
It's short. To 491 from that
Yeah.
original access, it's super short.
Right.
yeah.
It's not.
Well, it shows that chain link fence in there where that driveway is,
Mm-hmm.
that runs this way to 491. You're only looking at about 50 feet from there to the highway.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's.
close.
I know it's short, yeah.
it's- So moving the driveway back makes a lot of sense, especially if you're pulling a trailer.
Right. My
That ain't-
trailers aren't big. I mean, I got a dump trailer, a tilt trailer, and a sled trailer, and that's
Still,
Right.
it's still
Yeah.
another 16 feet, probably minimum.
the longest trailer I have is 30 foot.
So, if you're willing to do that, I'm willing to take a little extra time and work with you if you can kind of relay it out. If you can move that to get your 25 feet on the south, that's only one variance. Right now, we're looking at two variances, one to the north and one to the south. And if I could keep that one,
Yeah.
even if it was 25 and 25, by shifting it, it just makes it a lot more palatable, if you're willing to do that.
I'm willing to do that.
So then, can we,
Can you do it in a week?
What's that?
Can you do it in a week?
Oh, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
how, okay,
Motion,
then
motion to table this till next week?
next week? And then just
Are
give,
we- Yeah, we're here next week.
Yeah, and just, I'd recommend that we just set a time again for
What-
next week.
what's, 9 o'clock, or what's your,
9 o'clock.
I think
that-
we can do 9 o'clock.
Next Tuesday?
Yeah,
second.
And I don't need to be there to verify it. I trust his measurements.
okay.
if you just give one of us a call, or Travis, we can run out there and look at it with you real quick.
Yeah.
But by shifting it, just by making it 30 by 40, that gives us another 10
Well,
feet.
probably 2 or 3 of you drive by it every day, don't you?
Yeah.
Huh?
I've been watching you.
I-
Yeah.
Why don't you stop and help? I'm too old to run a chainsaw.
You guys are doing just fine, doing some good work. You don't need my help.
If you have
I'll
it
just
done by
muck it up.
tomorrow, you'll see me by the end of the week.
Okay, that'll work.
I'll
Thank
just-
you.
Thank you. So it's been moved and seconded to table this variance setback to 9 o'clock next week. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Which is what date?
17.
Okay.
All right.
All right, anything else?
Just for the public's awareness, we've had a couple of 3 different applicants receive spam emails. They have an email, one is from the Board of County Commissioners, with a whole dissertation along with attached invoice for fees that are not from the county. It's all a scam. There's also a letter out that's from the city of Cortez on county property with even a bigger list of fees due that is also another scam. The city's aware of that. Vicky first notified us, I believe it was last November or December, from La Plata County. They put out a PSA because they were the first in the area to receive these. Just so the public knows, if it's not an invoice from us with our phone number and we don't take wire payments, contact us.
Yeah, you don't have to run down to the store and get a gift card.
No, don't get a gift card. Don't data prints from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Contact us to verify it. The last 2 were just recently completed subdivisions in the last 2 weeks. So these came about this weekend.
All right, good information. Another thing, just like we talked about yesterday in our coffee with the county, cybersecurity for us, that's why we protect a lot of our emails and so on and so forth, but scammers are out there everywhere, and they're looking to pick up anything and everything. So if you get anything from the county, verify it, and then pay it. But you should really be cautious of anything like that, so thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. All right, moving right along, do we have any deletions or changes in the agenda as far as the consent agenda down below?
Yes.
We do have one, so bullet point, we have 3 bullet points. Bullet point number 2, again, is going to be removed until next week because we are not, after our discussion yesterday in the workshop, we're still not 100% ready. So that will be removed from the consent agenda. Other items needing consideration. We did not get it on the agenda, but we had it presented yesterday by our treasurer, our scheduled receipts of disbursements. So we do need to add that, although we'll be taking that up individually, but I do need to add that to the agenda. Anything else, gentlemen?
Move the appointment of the county representative to the Southwest Basin Roundtable and a decision on term limits or potential ballot inclusion to next week.
Okay. So that will be bullet point 3 and 4. Got it. Okay, with that, I would ask for a motion to accept the changes.
I move to accept the consent agenda as modified with those 2 removals.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the modifications to the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So that is done. We'll jump into public comment. All right. Seeing no public comment, I'll go by the public comment, and we'll go right into the consent agenda. With that, gentlemen, any questions or comments on the 2 bullet points that we're addressing?
No.
So didn't you just make a motion to accept that?
The changes,
Okay, got it.
the changes to the
Yeah.
consent agenda. Now we're going to approve the consent agenda.
I'm lost, I apologize.
Heck of a note when we get Kim messed up.
It's easy these days.
So move, we approve the consent agenda with the approval of policy 2602 on the use of earbuds and also the AI proposal for veteran services.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda with the 2 bullet points as just discussed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is approved. With that, we'll be moving down to the individual considerations. And it looks like we have 2 liquor licenses on tap. Jerry, come on down. Uh-oh. This must not be a good one.
My name's Jerry Frizzell. I do the liquor license for Montezuma County for renewals and new licenses. Today I have a new one for Nuchu Market LLC, which is located at 158 Highway 160, 491 Cortez, Colorado. Sheriff has been out and done his polling, and there was nobody against it. They all favored for it. The state has been down there to do their inspection, or will be down there tomorrow to do their inspection. No, he's there today to do their inspection. I gave you the letter from the sheriff for, there was no violations on the business. I've already sent this to the state to do a concurrent. They look over it while I do my process. They have sent back everything that he had to correct, which he has have everything already corrected, and everything's good to go from the state for his licensing too.
Was there a diagram? This is going back in that little building, correct? Was there a
Yeah.
diagram of that separation?
It's just gonna be a walk-up window. It's
Oh.
not gonna be a drive-through, no nothing. It's just literally a walk-up window.
Just that little,
Yeah, yeah, and it's completely blocked off of the store. It's got a locked door, so nobody can actually go into that one. The, everything's gonna be stored in that one room. There's gonna have the coolers and everything just in that one room, nowhere else. And the sheriff's already done his inspection on it. And I was gonna bring the thing, and I guess I did not grab it. But everybody's already approved the diagram for the, and like I say, it's just literally a walk-up. There's no driving, there's no nothing, it's just a walk-up window. That's it.
okay.
Did the Ute Mountain Ute tribe officially oppose or approve of this?
They own it.
Okay,
The Ute
So
tribe actually owned the
This,
building.
Yeah,
this
I-
was that little
was
building that we
Woody's.
approved.
right. I mean, but this
2
is
years
just
ago?
north of,
This is the converted Woody's.
Yeah.
There's no coffee shop, there's no home cooking kitchen.
No,
but this
So
it's
is,
just a,
Where this came from.
yeah,
So it's nothing that was presented to us originally?
No.
Because that was something totally different than a liquor store, or, well,
Okay.
I shouldn't say a liquor store.
a grocery.
It was grocery with coffee, with,
A market.
yeah, they've got the market on one side, and the liquor store is totally blocked off on the other side.
Yeah, because we originally seen something that went further north in buildings. and-
Oh, yeah, that didn't go through, yeah.
Okay.
all right. Sounds like it's all compliant.
Yeah, everything is compliant to it.
Okay. Do you have the actual form?
Yeah.
Do with what you will.
All
both times when I was in here before, every time we approved a liquor license, anywhere down that direction, they were complaining about.
And
Complaint after complaint.
the cops went out and did their survey, and nobody just went against it.
I agree with you, Commissioner. I mean, I have plenty to say, but at the end of the day, I'm looking at, is it compliant or is it not compliant?
Yeah, I know.
And that's what we have to make a decision on, because here again, this is right on the line. It's adding something to a place where it's absolutely a dry, supposedly. We're gonna create more, I know, but as what's gonna get pointed out to us, as I'm sure, is like, does it comply or does it not comply? And that's what we have to make the decision on.
And it's just a window. It's not gonna be extra cars pulling in there for the liquor license. It's just a window.
Right,
I mean,
and this
you
was
know,
never in the master plan that when we approved that was ever even talked about.
Yeah.
It was am I wrong?
No, it was never brought up. They cannot add to the exterior of that building.
Correct,
That
so-
footprint
They didn't.
cannot change.
Yeah.
They didn't.
This is just adding to the interior, so.
Yes.
My
instead
other
of a
question is,
market-
is if it's a walk-up window, is this walk-up from the parking lot? Or are we talking about walk-up from across the highway?
Well,
Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know.
one
Well,
would
it
have
does
to
matter,
assume it's from
because
the
people
parking
get
lot.
killed down there all the time.
No, but that's what Eagle Claw is too. They're only well,
Tr-
they
Trust
have,
me, guys, I would,
There's so many
here's just
questions,
another
but-
avenue for us to get sued. If it's compliant, whether we like it or not. Trust me, I hate it, because I know what this is going to manifest into, and it's not going to be anything that's good. And I know, looking at our attorney, I know,
Right. No, as long as there's no exterior expansion of
No,
that building, they
there's
can
not.
build a whole nother building.
correct, which is what? It's like 3 years ago? When did we do this?
Last year,
Was it last
or
year?
2 years ago.
2 years
It's
ago.
been 2 years, I think.
It's like, none of this was ever even considered. It was gonna be something totally different,
Right.
something,
But the high-impact permit does not specify
No, I know.
specific activities, so that is in place and does account for this traffic.
yeah, so this is basically, because the Mountain Ute tribe owned it.
they
right?
own the building.
The property, the store, everything, so
Yes,
this is,
they do.
yeah. I understand what we're faced with.
Yeah. Yeah, we've heard the 40 years of don't, so. But there's nothing from planning that, can't.
Okay. I move to approve the whatever you say that, New to Market LLC at 182 Highway 160, 491 Cortez, Colorado. Colorado Retail Liquor Store.
Is that the correct address, 182, or is it 158?
158.
158?
158.
It says 158 Highway 160. Does it say something different on
Oh,
that
this is
one?
on the polling form, okay.
Yeah. I will second that motion.
I gave you the wrong one.
It says 182 Highway 491.
That was the polling form.
That was a polling form, that's the
Yeah, I got
application.
the wrong one, see? Here. I got,
So is this
I got
correct?
Bubba's.
158? Okay, we'll go with this one.
Wait a minute.
We'll go with this one.
Which one?
158.
That
Okay.
one's for that one.
Which one?
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay. All right, well, it's been moved and seconded to accept the Colorado Liquor Retail License Application for Nuchu Market LLC located at 158 Highway 160, 491, Toyac?
Their address is listed as
Cortez,
Cortez, but their
but it's
mailing address is
Toyac,
Toyac.
so
Yeah.
there's the address, 158 Highway 160, 491. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Reluctantly, because it is compliant, but I know what it's gonna create, but I will vote, I have to vote yes. Okay. You have another one for us.
Yes. Liquor renewal for Bubba J's LLC, doing business as Bubba's, located at 18806 Highway 491 in Lewis. And I have a letter from the from the sheriff's office saying there's been no violations.
I move to approve this renewal, liquor license renewal application for Bubba J's LLC at 18806 Highway 491, Lewis, Colorado.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the retail liquor license renewal application for Boba J's LLC at 18806 Highway 491, Lewis, Colorado. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Anything else, Jerry?
That's it this time. Thank you.
That's it, okay. All right, yesterday we did have a scheduled receipt of disbursements from our treasurer. It was displayed. Do you have that, Travis, display? If you need a copy of it, it will be in the minutes. But that's what we need to approve for the
I would so move we
treasurer.
accept the schedule of receipts and disbursements from July 1st, 2025 to 12/31/25 as presented by Montezuma County Treasurer.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the scheduled receipts of disbursements from 7/1/25 to 12/31/25. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And this will need all three signatures. Okay, with that, it does look like we are going to have an executive session today.
Yes.
All right. So I will jump down to our reports first. We'll give those reports and then we'll jump into executive session. So with that, Mr. County Attorney, you get to go first.
Thank you, Commissioners. This week is the start of the Kelroy Newman trial up in Denver. I have been in contact with the paralegal for Vaughn and DeMuro, who's the law firm who's handling that on behalf of the county. And the information that I got yesterday was that the trial started, but that the county was not included as a party at that point. So there's been some kind of agreement reached. I don't have any of the details, but when the trial began, we were not named as a defendant remaining in the case. I understand we still have some witnesses who are going to be participating in the trial, but just as witnesses, not as defendants. Some of the personnel involved there at the jail and the sheriff, I believe. So I think it was set for as long as 2 weeks. So it could be going on up there. Yep, just looking at my calendar. So it could go on for quite some time, but not with the county as defendants. Again, I don't have any of the details at this time. That was just the information I got yesterday, and they said, you know, once we hammer out all the details, they'll be shared with the county. Otherwise, we've had quite a few like employment issues over the last week or so that I've been involved in some of those. We've reached out to Employers Council to help us with some additional expertise, trying to navigate these different situations as best we can as the county. I also spent quite a bit of time working with the planning department, particularly in preparing for the executive session that I asked to be put on the agenda today as it relates to our road impact fee schedule and how that might apply to different properties in the county. Otherwise, I wanted to let the board know that I'm going to be taking a few days off over the weekend. I'll be out of town, and Gus Maxwell, our assistant county attorney, is going to be appearing on Tuesday because I'll still be on my way back. And then I've still got a couple more things to run down as far as our discussion yesterday about term limits and how those questions look. I wanted to thank Kim for probably doing the heavy lifting on that and sending me a bunch of those that have been put out for a vote on the ballot in the past here in the county. And then I'll also, as it relates to our discussion about how are we going to set up that public process broadly about I guess we'll just call it junk trash blight situation in our comprehensive plan, the land use code. I think it would be good to really get a lot of materials together to help inform that discussion. So we'll be working on that. And still trying to get those two land use enforcement cases out the door. This has been one area where it has been more difficult than I anticipated, just not having a legal assistant in my office still. A lot of that stuff's pretty time consuming, just getting all the paperwork right. And so that's still high on the list. It's just taking me a little longer than I thought it would.
Do we have applicants for that position?
We're still wanting to get the what's it called, the hiring module with our new software.
Okay.
I guess there's been some a little bit longer up ramp, so to speak. So we don't even have it advertised quite yet because we're trying to use our new software, and just with everything else as a part of that iSolved configuration in talking with Dennis, they've just been slammed with all these, just getting on a new system, working out the kinks, so to speak. So we're not up and running, as I understand it, on the hiring module, which is, as it was explained to me, kind of an add-on to the core services we're using. So hopefully we'll get that out pretty soon. It would definitely help Gus and myself quite a bit.
Okay. All right. Travis.
Busy week, Commissioners. Been spending a lot of time in conversations with Road and Bridge and our new lead foreman. Worked with finance. We're headed down the path to get that Sprinter van purchased for the sheriff so that they can transition it over to a transport van. We're working on the parking lot issues. I'll be meeting with Dustin today, try to finalize some issues related to that. I'll be meeting with the city here in the near future on a collaboration for a project between the city and county. Thursday was all-day CCI. Commissioner Candelaria, I'll let you expound on that. And our RFP for the hard surface evaluations is out on our bid net.
Okay, very good. Kim? Nothing? All right. Commissioner Copenafer.
I don't have much to report this week. There is another deadline coming up on the Colorado River issues on the 14th, so we'll see if that deadline passes without any agreement still, which I'm sure it's going to. We've had several of these deadlines already, and now another one's coming up. There's a lot of pushing and a lot of talk going on about what's going to happen if we don't meet our obligations of the 8.23 now instead of the 7.5, because they're depending on the upper basin states to supply half the million, half to Mexico, so that's why it goes up to 8.23 from the 7.5. There's just a lot of chatter about the whole thing, threats and this and that, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Could end up with a compact call eventually, and may not, who knows? It's just gonna be I'm sure it's gonna be a long, drawn-out legal battle over the whole mess before it's all done, and that's really not a very good way to solve this problem. Fact is, there's only so much water in the river, and you have to, that's all you can do. There's not anything you can, Mother Nature's gonna control it, whether we like it or not. So it's not looking good. That's all I got.
Okay. Commissioner Lindsay.
Not much to report. City councils tonight, they're gonna do some ordinances and some resolutions and a couple of, looks like retail liquor license renewals. Also, the commissioners are going, I hope all of us are going to be at the Cattlemen's meeting this coming Saturday morning, so look to see you guys there.
Very good.
And that's all I have.
Pose. That kills the moss.
What's that?
That's we use it to kill the moss in the canals. So there's enough restrictions on it already.
Okay. I had the fortune or misfortune, however you want to look at it, of going over the bill tables for the last week, Thursday and Friday in Denver. You know, I think I said this yesterday in Coffee with the County, you know, the first 2 weeks at the state capitol was kind of pomp and circumstance, and that came actually from Senator Simpson and actually Senator Catlin. I had a Zoom meeting with them Wednesday morning also before I flew Wednesday night to get to the Capitol for this meeting. But there are a lot of bills that are a lot of discussion. HHS had a lot of discussion. They do have, the directors have gotten together as a group. They have 4 basically in the lead of that. They have went to the state to ask if we can basically bring forth another proposal that will be brought forth from us instead of taking it from the state down. They are good with that. So CCI gave the marching orders to basically give that committee the opportunity to move forward to try and make something else better within the state for HHS. Our director is well aware of everything. I did talk to her again yesterday. Was talking to her through the meeting also via text. And hopefully something good will come out of that. But it does specifically look like they're going to move into the regionalization with the hubs. But the state is saying that they will fix the software. So hopefully we'll get something good that comes out of that. I was just passing this over to Commissioner Copenhaver on Senate Bill 26062, the rodenticide use restrictions. Not a lot on the bill table, but there was a lot of discussion on that. I'll let you expound on more of the rodenticides that we use around here, but I think for me, I mostly use lead, and I capture all the creatures that I want to with lead. But with the rodenticides, one of the biggest concerns was if the poisoning of the creatures, prairie dogs, voles, moles, whatever, that it would impact the birds of prey. And that was the biggest discussion in that whole room for that day over that. I actually did make a motion to oppose it, and that passed, so felt like we had a little bit of a win on that one. There were a lot of conversations around tax and finance. So one of the issues, this is permissive, so it would be up to whoever's sitting in this chairs in the future, but they want to, again, try and create more money, another fund for housing, and this was House Bill 261036, local taxes on vacant residential property. So if you're not the rules have not been written on this, but if you have another property in another county and you're not a resident of that, here again, my question was, well, I own a piece of property in another county that I don't live there every day, and I'm gonna now have to pay an excise tax. So that would have to be voted on. It's permissive, so even though the law passes, it doesn't mean that anybody that's sitting up here would ever have to move it forward or not. You would have the option. I actually opposed that. That vote failed. It only got 47% of the votes in that room. So a lot of the mountain towns are really, they're still trying to fix their housing problems. I'll leave a list of this up here. There was a lot of good discussion. HHS took right at up until noon on Friday, and then we went into the rest of the bill tables. But if you're interested, I have this paperwork up here, or I can actually put it into the record. So I will give you the master table for the record. The meeting I had with Senator Simpson and Catlin, Montrose County was on there. They were talking about some of the bills that they were working on, and we'll just kind of made a pact that we would meet every 2 weeks with these two gentlemen just to make sure that we stay on top of everything prior to get into CCI. So that's that. Coffee with the county yesterday. We had our new road and bridge lead foreman come in, Heath Higgins. Did a good job kind of giving the path forward that we have going forward for road and bridge. So can't watch that one on YouTube. Those are not streamed, but there was a lot of good conversation and the path forward that we're moving with road and bridge. Pretty exciting, and it's sounds great. Did get to Dolores we went to our workshop yesterday. We had all of our updates from our treasurer, district attorney, our grant writer, our veteran services, and then we had our discussion on term limits and blight. And with that, I have another question as far as blight. So in Dolores last night, one of the conversations they had, and we've done this in the past here, is they do cleanup days in, I think, Cortez, Mancos, and Dolores. So would it be acceptable, and we can put this on the discussion for next Monday also, but why don't we do another cleanup day like we did a tire day where we collected 30,000 tires, and I think we did that for a weekend. For the county, I mean, we keep talking about this, your strategy of let's help these people if they don't have a way to get help. And, you know, maybe for a day or a weekend, we just have to post it. Think about it. We would end up having to fund the tipping fees, but as long as you're a resident of Montezuma County. And with the fire restrictions coming, I'd also like to have a conversation with Mel to see if we could also waive the green fee waste, because that would also get that picked up, cleaned up, so that we don't have it out there as a fire hazard. So those are conversations that we can have, just ideas, as we had that conversation yesterday. Dolores last night did cancel their elections because they have 3 chairs open and 1 mayor chair. They had 1 applicant for each of them, so they were able to cancel their election and basically elect them by acclamation because there's nobody else running. So Dolores will not have an election, and I think that's in April, right? Yeah, so they did cancel that, and that's the end of my report. So with that, if you have
I would so move we go into an executive session for a conference with the lawyer for the purpose of receiving legal advice on a specific legal question under CRS Section 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to move into executive session for a conference with the attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS Section 24-6-42, or B, included in there will be the clerk, Ms. Purcell, Commissioners Copenhaver, Candelaria, and Lindsay, Attorney Tarnowski, Administrator Anderson, and Planning Don Haley and Sherry Jane Duncan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for coming.
I so move we come out of executive session.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to exit executive concession, executive session.
I was looking for the concession stand all of a sudden.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now we can look for the concession stand.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn this February 10th, 2026 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.